Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Śaṅkaram Lokashankaram Śaṅkaram Śaṅkaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashiva Samarambham Vyasa Śaṅkara Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. We have looked at the various steps a sadhaka needs to take, starting from adhyayanam of one's own Veda. These are very nicely graded steps, which is why it's also called Sopāna Pañcakaṃ, flight of stairs. Each step takes its own time, either to achieve the results that we want from that step, or for the step itself to lead us to the next step. Kamye matistyajyatam, it says. One can consciously say, I don't want these. But if one does all the adhyayanam and the karma as specified and understands Ishvara, Kami karma will automatically lose its attraction. When all of these processes are undertaken, automatically one begins to see the relative valuelessness of these, how short-lived these are, and clearly these will drop. Not that one doesn't desire anything anymore. The desire is still there. You are in a human sharira, desire will be there. But the desire becomes also Ishvara. Dharma viruddho kamosmi, Bhagavan says. Whatever kama is not against dharma is okay. That means that kama does not have any hold on one. If the kama that we have begins to take hold of one, it will be difficult to maintain dharma. It will push us into adharma. And from there, gradually, all papas will disappear. In the sense that no further papas will be committed, or at least they'll be reduced in time, because one sticks to dharma. And also, that vairagyam and viveka will begin to appear, which will make any papa karma phala that one has to experience and undergo not something to be concerned about. Because one has seen what kind of problems one has in these kamya karma and all the desires that we have, those desires stop becoming stinging. They don't bite us anymore. We still have those karmic karma. We still enjoy those results of those. I've always felt that Shastra never said, do not enjoy what you get. There is comfort for the physical body, enjoy it. You get some good news of any type, that your son has done very well in some competition, enjoy it. Neeraj Chopra's parents, however spiritual they are, however much of detached people they are, when he threw that golden javelin, they will be happy. That's fine, absolutely fine. But Prime Minister Modi, when he was addressing these Olympians, very nice video, he talked to them literally like one-on-one. And he said, don't let the medal winning go to your head. And don't let not winning the medal hurt your heart. Very profound. Because one has certain vairagya, one makes the attempt that one makes as much as one is possible to do whatever is to be done, to gain whatever loka sukha one can gain, there's nothing wrong with that, as long as it is non-binding. And that desire is clear, that what I'm looking for is Atma Jnanam, Atmecha. And with that clarity and with all these understanding the first 7 steps, is this: stop thinking of your own things as mine. Literally go away from your home. Very neatly arranged steps. And in order to firm this up and not get shaken very easily, 2 things are important. One is to stay there. You know, it's like when you plant, let's say, a pole, then cement and all, now you dig a little bit, put a lot of cement on it and make it pakka. Traditionally, what was done was you put that pole, put some earth back into it, and then you shook it so that it all, and then you put more, and then you tamp on it. That's the kind of thing that needs to be done to make this dridataram. For that, the step given is satsang. And we know how important it is. You can tell the nature of a person by the company he keeps. Saying, look for who are his friends. One will naturally drift towards those people and those institutions which are in alignment with one's own thinking. But some interesting things there happen. When you grow up as a child, that time we don't get any discrimination. We don't neither have the discrimination nor that the other person just happens to be a neighbor, so we grow up with them and become very close friends. And later you find there's a great divergence. That also happens. But one has to choose one's sangha. And bring more and more and more Ishvara into one's life. Bhakti yoga is not a separate yoga. It is a necessary condition at all stages. Till one attains the jnanam. Otherwise, immediately one will ask, Swami G just told me that Shastra says, you are Ishvara. then who should I pray to? Till that state, till that absolute clarity is there, Ishvara is a important element in the progress of a sadhaka. Swami G had coined a word, Ishvara is your life. Like sanitize your kitchen. Ishvara is your life. Make it full of Ishvara. When one has come to that stage, and one has gained all the adhikaritvam, Shama, Dhamma, Ityadi, summarized in one word here as Shantyadi. Then earlier, the second step was said, it was said that Tatuditam karmas manushthiyatam. Under all the karma that is mandated by Shastra and all the upasana that is necessary and as mandated. And we saw that in the progress of the sadhaka, at grihastha stage there is more karma and less upasana. At vanaprastha stage there is more upasana and less karma. Here he says, even that vihita karma, you give up. Vihita karma and upasana are necessary. Paramartha used to give an example. For a new child to be born, the fetus needs to be in the mother's womb. Necessary. But when that has done its job and the fetus has grown to a stage where it can sustain itself, it can't stay there anymore. It has to come out. That has to be given up. It's like that. All the karma and upasana are necessary, but at some point, they need to be also dropped. I like another example. It's like a pole vault. A pole vaulter takes a pole, runs, digs it into the pit and jumps. And once he jumps and the pole has done its job, he can't say, I will take the pole along with me. He will never cross the bar. Like that, karma and upasana, having done their job, all the adhikaratams gained, there's absolute clarity that the only thing I'm looking for is mokṣā, for which I need to be a mumukshu. And for that mumukshutvam to succeed, I need to be a jignasu, one who is seeking that jnanam. Jnanameva mokṣā. Once one has come to that stage, one can drop all vihita karma and all upasana. When does one formally drop all the vihita karma and upasana? When we took up this karma as a very formal thing. As a brahmachari, one had a formal ceremony by which one was initiated into the karma. Vihita karma. One was given sandhya vandanam to do 3 times a day. Like that, all karmas are specified. One became a grihastha, then others were specified and they were told that this is what you should do. Therefore, it's only natural that these karma, when you give up, you don't suddenly one day say, forget it, I'm not doing. What generally happens is, all young boys will initially, after they've got their Upanayanam, will do Sandhya Vandanam for a few days. And for a few more days till the parents keep on telling him, do your Sandhya Vandanam time. And then they'll go to the hostel, that's the end of Sandhya Vandanam. He will drop it one day. That is not what is meant here. Formally give up. There is a procedure for that also. And that is procedure is called sannyasa. It's quite an elaborate procedure. Certain pratignya one makes. One has understood the relative valuelessness of everything. One commits to oneself to be viraga, do a complete homa called viraga homa, no raga. And abhaya, you will neither be a source of bhaya for somebody else, nor will anything else give you bhaya because you've understood certain level. But one can also think of sannyasa not necessarily by wearing ochre, shaving off one's head. Those are external manifestations of the idea of sannyasa. One can give it up because of fulfilling all the conditions. There is vairagyam, there is viveka, there is mumukshutvam, samadhamadi shatka sampatti is already gained. Everything is there, mentally, physically one is prepared. One can also be sannyasi while continuing in the jagat without necessarily wearing this. Jatilo mundi lanchita keshaha kashayambara bahukruta veshaha pashyannapi nad pashyati moodhaha yudara nimittam bahukruta veshaha. Vesham one can put when one is sure. But simply because one puts on the vesham doesn't mean that one is sannyasi. If all these conditions are not fulfilled, you cannot really call yourself sannyasi. Sannyasa has to have all of these absolute clarity. So we have now crossed all the stages and come to the stage of sannyasa. Like I said, sannyasa can be one who has taken formal sannyasa, has gone through the rituals and taken to occur and lives a life where there is no binding desire. Externally and internally, very clear. One can also be a manasika sannyasa. Because all conditions are fulfilled, one continues to live in the jagat, doesn't wear ochre, wears whatever normal clothes everybody else wears, but the clothes make no difference to the person. It might make a difference to other people, but to that individual, they make no difference at all. Their single-pointed focus is jnanam. I have to know. And I have to know that paravidya by which one gains knowledge of Aksharam Brahma. What is that knowledge? That Aksharam Brahma is I. That is the knowledge we're trying to gain. So at that stage, Acharya says, Sad Vidvan Upasrupyatam. Let's just read the second verse alone, not sing beautifully like it was sung in the beginning, but let's look at the words. Together. Sangaha Satsu Vidhiyatam. Please repeat.
Satsu Vidhiyatam.
Stay with the Sangha of Satpurusha. Bhagavatah bhaktir dridadhiyatam. Bhagavatah bhaktihi drida adhiyatam. Bhagavatah, please repeat after me. Bhagavatah bhaktihi drida adhiyatam.
Bhagavata bhakti drina aditam.
Adhiyatam. May one follow this. Shanti adihi. Parichiyatam. Dridataram. Karmashu santyajyatam. Here also he says karma ashu santyajyatam. Quickly, soon. So it is not that one needs to give up immediately. One needs to go quickly, in time. As one gets prepared and ready, Acharya says, give up karma, vihita karma also. Don't just drop it one day. Sadvidvan upasrupyatam.
Sadvidvan
Upasrupyatam.
Upashrupyatam.
Pratidinam tat paduka sevyatam.
Pratidinam paduka sevitam.
Brahma ekaksharam artyatam. Brahmaikaksharam artyatam. Shruti shiro vakyam. Amakarnyatam. Upasrupyatam. Upasrupya means to go to approach. Sup is the dhatu, meaning there are many dhatus with the meaning gatav. Gatav, to go. Upasrupyatam means to approach. Who do you approach? Sadvidvan. Sadvidvan is really when you add sad to any person, Sadvidvan, Sadguru, etc. One who has understood Satyam. Understood Satyam as I. Is Sadvidvan. One has to understand this correctly. Go to a guru who is a Sadvidvan. Go to somebody who can clarify this jnanam, paravidya. Somebody who is a sampradaya with. If somebody claims, I have found it myself, I had a revelation, we respect them. We don't disregard them. Maybe we even do a pranam to them and come back. If you want to gain this jnanam, which is mokṣā, we're probably going to the wrong person. They may give you all kinds of assistance in one's life, one immediate relief, one can. There are many such gurus, respectable gurus. But if you want to gain this knowledge, you have to go to sampradaya with guru. You've seen this. Tadviddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. We will see this again and again. What kind of guru? Who are Brahmavit, who understood Brahman. And we've also seen in the Mundaka Upanishad, Gurumevavi gached samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. Shrotriyam guru is required. Anybody who says, I have discovered it myself, means he or she has put in his or her own thinking into that. And human thinking is limited. We depend on human thinking, there will always be limitation because we are trying to understand the unlimited. Therefore, we respect them, we give them all the stature that they deserve, but we do not go to them as a guru. Tad vidvan upasrupyatam. You can be sure if one goes there with the right attitude, that guru will teach. If he is already a
I
person
can't
who
hear you,
understood,
Swami G. Is it just me or others also?
I think last time also had difficulty. I think others are okay.
Yeah.
They're okay. So you don't check your speaker setting. If he is already a Shrotriya Brahmanishta, he is already a Sadvidwan, there is no need for him to teach you. It is not the Guru's need. That Guru has no more wants. If the Guru is looking to say, I must have 10,000 Shishyas, then he has some way to go. So it is not his requirement, our requirement. That is why one goes to Guru and says, please teach. Shishyasteham shādimam tvam prapannam. He also says. And if one approaches them like that, they will teach. They have the knowledge. The person approaches them who is qualified. They will teach. Such a guru will not go to knock on each door and say, come, I will teach you. In fact, Bhagavan says in the 3rd chapter of the Gita, don't teach people who are not ready. It's a categorical injunction to the person who's understood. In fact, we saw it also in the Mundaka Upanishad. Do not teach people unless they ask you for it and they have adequate preparation. That is why in all of these things you will see that with the pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. 3 conditions is given to approach a guru. With a request that please teach me. I bow down to you, please teach me. And Shastra expects you to question correctly, not because you've gone there with the proper intention to learn. The intention is not to punch a hole in his argument. The intention is to understand the teaching, the vision. For that, again, you're allowed to ask questions. It is unlike a faith, where simply because somebody tells you this, he says, you follow me only. Don't ask questions. That's called a faith. This is not that. This is something where one has to think, analyze. Logic, analysis, intelligent thinking, all are part of the same components of the same thing. What Vedanta teaches is not without logic. It is not something which you simply have to accept. So you follow the Guru, not swallow what he says. You think about it, you process it. Where is not clear question. Vidvan upasrupyatam. Approach a Guru. And when you go to the Guru, you're not just learning from the Guru, you're learning the whole parampara. What we are learning today, using this very fancy computers and Zoom and so on, technology, but essentially, it is the same thing that Gaudaparya taught Śaṅkaracārya. It is the same thing that Swami Dayananda Saraswati's teacher taught him. It is what he taught me. Unchanging. Both the vision and the methodology come down like that. That is why amongst the prayers we say here, Sadashiva Samarambham Vyasa Śaṅkara Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam, ending with my Guru. Vande Guru Parampara. I salute the entire parampara. This is important to understand. That Guru we have is a live person. It is not a book. It is not a recording. It is a live Guru with whom we can interact. That is why this method we're using, in view of all the limitations, is the second best. Ideally, one should be able to sit in a classroom with the Guru day after day after day and do Shravanam. We all adapt to modern conditions. We also adapt. But it remains second best. Pujya Swamiji never liked the idea that his lecture should be put up on YouTube. Somebody will hear that, draw his or her own conclusion, and go around telling the world, this is what I learned from Pujya Swami Dayananda Saraswati. Tad vidvan upasrupyatam. The whole parampara, in fact, there is a very nice list of many of these gurus. You may have heard this. Narayanam Padma Bhuvam Vasishtam Shaktim cha Tatputra Parasharam cha Vyasa Shukha Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindriya Mathasya Shishyam Sri Śaṅkaracārya Mathasya Padmapadancha Astamalakam cha Shishyam Tam Totakam Vartikakaram Anyan Asmad Gurun Satatam Anatosmi. I bow down to this whole parampara of gurus. So when I do namaskaram to my Guru, it is not to my Guru only. It goes all the way up to Sadashiva. Through the lineage of all of these gurus. There is a story of Totakacharya. He was earlier called Anandagiri, I think, if I remember right. He was also a Shishya of Śaṅkaracārya. Śaṅkaracārya recognized in him a very well-prepared Shishya, but he had a lot of limitations. And once when he had gone for his sādhanaṃ, they were all waiting for him to come back. And Śaṅkaracārya did not start the class. Other Shishyas were mocking him and saying, let's start now. Anyway, he won't understand anything. So Śaṅkaracārya, through only his grace, would recognize the Adhikari in Anandagiri, blessed him, and started the class when he started, when he came back. And then Totakacharya wrote a number of hymns. In fact, he wrote hymns in a particular meter called Totaka. Very nice meter. which he then got to be called Totakacharya. Most popular which is Vidhita Khila Shastra Sudha Jalade Mahitopanisat Katita Kanide. Very beautiful meter. So when we say, I do pronounce my Guru and request him to teach, the pranam is not just to the Guru, but to the entire parampara of Gurus. To that Guru, one goes with the right attitude. Pranipatena. I said Pranipatena, Pariprashnena, and Sevaya. Three factors that mentioned in the Gita. Many times when Shishyas go to a Guru in the traditional Gurukulam, the Guru will not immediately start teaching. The Shishya are expected to come to the Gurukulam and do seva. A Guru needs nothing. If he is already a Jivan Mukta Purusha, then nothing you can give to the Guru. He already is everything. Not that he has everything, he is everything. Or better still, everything is him. So what happens is initially, one is expected to do seva for the Guru. This is another reason why a Gurukulam becomes an important thing. This period allows the Shishya time to carefully ponder over what he is trying to learn, and the Guru adequate time to assess the preparedness of the Shishya. There are many instances in the Upanishads where a Shishya goes to a Guru and Guru says, come back after 1 year. Krishna Upanishad also there is one this thing. The Guru says, come back. If I can answer a question, I will. Doesn't even tell you I will teach you. There is this period when one does only seva. In the Gurukulam traditional thing, the Shishya would come and do all the work in the ashram. Wash the Guru's clothes, clean up the place, help in the cooking perhaps, I don't know. Maintain that place. I had gone to one such place academy where they teach Vedanta many, many years ago. And I found this still true. All the students there ran the whole place. They maintained the garden, they maintained the modern technology. Some of them took care of all the transportation vehicles and so on. Some of them in charge of the kitchen. Some of them in charge of the classrooms and so on. But they were doing the things themselves. It is also an important part of learning. We call it, in Sanskrit, there's a word called Shishrusha. In normal language in Tamil Nadu, Shishrusha has an immediate Rudi Artha, meaning do seva. In Tamil, they say, no, an elderly person, maybe a bedridden person, she does so much, or he does so much Shishrusha. But if you understand the etymology of the word, like you have mokṣā, ichha for mokṣā, Shishrusha, shrotum ichha, the desire to hear. That is called Shishrusha. Because a person has gone to the Guru saying, I want to hear, I want to do Shravanam. To begin with, they do only Seva. Even today in the Ramakrishna mission, when somebody has got an interest in this knowledge, goes to Ramakrishna mission to join. There's many such missions I know. They said, fine, this will be your duties. They're typically attached to a sannyasi and they look after all the needs of the sannyasi. They don't only say, but they know no learning. Then after some rigorous work in terms of seva, the ones who are eligible, who got the adhikaritvam, are attached to the Advaita Ashrama. And then they start learning. There's a lot of value to this. The respect and the reverence for the teacher is natural. In fact, I don't know how many of you have actually seen this. Some of you may have seen this. When children begin to go to school, they will go to school in class 1, and then they finish that year, they are promoted to class 2. Some children refuse to go. They want to be with the same teacher. I'm sure some of us have seen this. They refuse to go to the next time. That natural affinity to the one who teaches you is there even in our normal Laukika learning. What to talk of this learning, the highest form of learning. So that attitude with which one goes to a guru becomes very important. So Acharya says, Sadvidvan upasrupyatam pratidinam tat paduka sevyatam. Paduka is the footwear. Symbolic. One bows down to the Guru, who goes with an attitude saying, he is the one who is going to give me this knowledge, make me understand this. What is this knowledge? I am Ishvara. It is the same knowledge for which we pray to Ishvara. Ananya Bhakti. Once we have gone past the prayer for mundane Laukika results, ultimately the prayer is for Ananyatvam. How please make me understand how I am same as you. I can't see it. Mattaha anyat na. How do I understand this? I can't see it. You are so different. I'm so different. You are Sarvajna, Sarvavid, Sarvavyapi. You are omniscient. I can't even spell the word. I am Alpajna, Alpashaktiman. You are Sarvavyapi. I am at least in one place at one time. Please help me understand. That is the prayer. One very beautiful thing about this prayer is, when we begin to gain this thing as we grow up as a child, our prayer is only to I. So a child prays, let me do well in the exam. We as children did that. The prayer is only for I. Then as one grows up and one becomes mature, the prayer is not only for I, for my parents, then maybe for my children, my spouse. All of them are included in the prayer. Then as one gains more and more maturity, Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Whether we understand the meaning or not, that's what we go down to praying. And when there are special circumstances like is happening in the world today, Corona, Afghanistan, wildfires, earthquakes, and a lot of people are suffering. The prayer extends that far. And then when it expands that far, only then can this Ananya Bhakti prayer can come. All part of the same preparation. So Acharya says, approach a guru who is a Shrotriya Brahmanistha with the right attitude, pratipranena pariprashnena sevaya, and exemplified by pratidinam tat paduka sevyatam. To service. In the Gurukulam days, it was easy. You could go to the Guru's kutia, and if he's tired, press his legs. But he was sitting in another place 4,000 miles away from your Guru. You can only do Manasika Seva. But that Seva is important. There are people I know who in as many words say, I will not bow down to a living person. Somehow it seems to feel that it will lower me. In fact, the more one shows respect, the more one grows. I remember many decades ago, Śaṅkara had come, we were doing some programs together, and he had also done part of the program for IGNOU. And some people, I was a very young man at that time, immediately prostrated before Śaṅkara. I think the Kanchi Śaṅkara had come. And I was flabbergasted. In public, in the veranda, I didn't obviously understand enough. Now I see the value. But I didn't do pranam that time. I only did pranam, whatever. There is this feeling in the mind that in some form, I am an achiever. I will lower myself by doing namaskaram. That tradition which was there, to do namaskaram to anybody who teaches, including parents, used to be inculcated in children right from the beginning. That's why when we do Saraswati Puja here every year, we also do Matru Puja. The children do puja to Saraswati, following which they also do puja to the mother and father. Wash their feet, put chandaram kumkumam, put flowers. So that culture gets built. We have got a lot of influence of other cultures, which has been drummed into our head saying that is superior culture. And therefore we are hesitant to do that. Therefore making statements like that, I will never bow down to a living person. This is no. Pratidinam tat paduka sevyata. Again in the Bhagavad Gita, Amanitvam adambitvam ahimsa kshantirajyavam acharyo pasanam shaucham. Acharyo pasanam. Such an important element in the process of learning. One doesn't bring oneself down by doing this. One, in fact, if anything, raises one's own level. This is another reason why Acharya says this, because live guru is necessary. I stay so far away, how can I do namaskaram to the guru? Manasika namaskaram. You can do manasika namaskaram and prayer to even to Ishvara. Acharya has written several prayers like that. Shiva Manasa Puja, beautiful puja, you can do wherever you are, even in a flight. Lord Shiva, Manasika Puja. But the implication is the attitude one with which one goes to approaches the Guru. Mandakvanisha also we remember that Gurumeva Bibigachet Samit Pani, with Samit in the hand, with an attitude of genuinely wanting to know, understand, which means a lot of preparation is already done. You know that there is something to be learned. One is already a jignasu. And that learning is paravidya. That learning is the vidya that exceeds any other type of vidya, all of which is aparavidya. So the Acharya says, Sad vidman upasrupyatam pratidinam tat paduka sevyatam. Approach the Guru with the right attitude, because you've already done everything. You also got the sannyasa attitude. That everything else is, relatively speaking, very, very unimportant. What I want to know, the only thing that's important, that's Atma Jnanam, Brahma Jnanam, Moksha Jnanam. That is all I want to know. Everything will carry on. Nothing will stop. But my entire focus is on Atma Jnanam. What is that Atma Jnanam? Brahmaikaksharam arthyatam.
Brahmaikaksharam arthyatam.
Ishiro vakyam samakarnyatam.
Shruchishiro vakyam
Akarnyatam. Brahma ekam cha aksharam cha. That Brahma, aksharam Brahma, the knowledge of it, what we're seeking. Taittiriya Upanishad, Adihi Bhagavo Brahmeti. Please teach me the reality of Brahman. And he definitely will not immediately say, what that to teach you or no. Either he will run away or he will not run, he will be more confused. Therefore, he starts with telling him, in fact, you remember in Mundaka Upanishad also, since we finished it recently, and he asked, what is that knowledge knowing which it is as though I know everything? He didn't say that is Brahmajnanam. Start by saying there are two vidyas, Aparavidya and Paravidya. These are all Aparavidya. These are to a very highly qualified Shishya. When Arjuna asked, Shishasteham Shadimam Tam Prapannam, Krishna immediately didn't tell him Prattamasi. It takes some amount of time. So these steps that Acharya has listed are important steps. Brahma ekaksharam, ekasa aksharam cha, arthyatam. Arthyatam here is to ask for. Artha has many meanings. Artha has many artha. One of the artha is to ask for. The dhatu is also artha, meaning to beg, to request. Brahma ekaksharam arthyatam. The student requests. The student means he has accepted him as the guru, because he's gone there with the right attitude. And the guru accepts the student after a time lag. In a Gurukulam, typically he'd be asked to do seva. If his preparation is incomplete, if he is struggling in any of the preparatory steps, either that has to be made up or the teaching will not make any sense. And if the student is not ready and it doesn't make any sense to him and is not able to make up the deficiency in whatever part of the preparation is lacking, he'll be wasting his time or he'll be wasting Guru's time. And when you ask the Guru, he will always tell you this jnanam can be gained only through, there is only one method, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. We will examine what these are in the class tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Harihi Om.